Go. Go.
Action.
Welcome back.
Start timer.
We're in the echo chamber.
Echo chamber. Yeah, we're in an empty house.
We're playing racquetball. We're at a racquetball court.
We rented out. We went out to the Y.
We're at the Bally's.
We're on the L train.
Union's house is getting fumigated, so we had to get out and go on the L train and record this.
We're in a local cathedral that was available.
We're in a Trappist monk's cathedral, drinking ale,
Yeah, we all have
praying.
All right.
Oh, pretty cool.
I got this book.
We got some
We can
books.
start with this book.
What is this?
It's just sort of a fun book.
Felton and read
So it's Felton and Fowler's More, Best, Worst, and Most Unusual, an all-new second volume of fascinating facts and entertaining opinions on every conceivable subject.
This is something my mom would have in the bathroom.
Yeah,
this is good.
It's a throwback book. Yeah, it's sort of a toilet read.
It's like a David Sedaris.
Let me check what year. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of a step down from that, probably. 1976 is the year this was published. So, should be pretty fun. I don't know. I figured we could just read one. Just try.
Okay.
Just find one.
We're gonna dive right in here.
I don't know. I think there's just little section. Just try to find a little section or something.
I'm in the section called the military. I just opened to a random page.
Right. You can browse if you want.
No, I'm just
You
gonna.
don't have- okay. What's the title?
Worst new weapon.
What do you guys? Any ideas?
Probably social media.
Mustard gas.
Mustard gas.
My guess is mustard gas.
Well, let's find out here. It could be mustard. The worst new weapon. The airplane. The fighter jet.
Do you want me to read it?
United States Army scientists have developed a super-sensitive smellometer.
Whoa.
Originally designed to sniff out the odor of nuoc mam, a pungent fish oil sauce that both North and South Vietnamese soldiers ate with their rice. No way.
Yeah,
this is fake.
Yeah, these might. I don't know how fact
This
checked
might be
these
racist.
are.
Yeah. I'm just diving right in. It's not my fault if it's racist.
Right.
I chose a random one.
Yeah.
Hundreds of these delicate sensors were airdropped along with the Ho Chi Minh Trail in hopes of keeping tabs on communist troop movements.
Whoa.
With impressive ingenuity, the Viet Cong quickly devised a strategy to neutralize the smellometers. The troops hung buckets of urine on trees along the infiltration route. And the devices were unable to distinguish the urine from nuoc mam. Officially, the Pentagon discontinued the use of smellometers because they had a too broad spectrum. So the Viet Cong tricked the meters by using PP.
Dang.
Well,
they're so cool.
That's kind of them. Yeah, they're
so cool.
They're so chill. They're just like, yeah, we know that the stuff we eat all the time smells like piss.
Right.
We're going to use it.
Well, I don't think it's that it smells like piss. It's that it doesn't even smell. It just is smelling for a strong smell.
Just an odor.
It doesn't even know. It can't tell the difference between fish and pee.
Smellometer. That's like something you'd pick up in Fallout. That's a ridiculous.
Yeah,
The
that's something from the
smellometer.
Venture Brothers. Yeah, the smellometer. That's cool.
You can
Dude, I
tell.
love the Vietnamese army. They seem so cool.
Worst execution?
What do you? Gun.
Mr. Hands style. Horse love, probably. Worst execution. Suicide was, paradoxically, a capital offense in Britain in the 19th century. If you survived your own attempt at killing yourself, the state would finish the job for you. Around 1860, according to Nicholas Ogarev, a Russian expatriate living in London, a man who had slashed his throat was taken to the gallows to be hanged for his crime. Nice. Isn't it still illegal to kill yourself?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't care about laws.
Fuck yeah. Physicians warned the execution or hanging the man would be impossible. The pull of the rope would open the wound in his neck and enable him to breathe. Gotcha, dumbass.
So what they do? What did they do?
Paying the doctors no heed, they hanged him anyway, and the wound in the neck immediately opened and the man came back to life again, although he was hanged. So he was just dangling there, just breathing. It took time to convoke the alderman to decide the question of what was to be done. At length, the alderman assembled and bound up the neck below the wound until he died. Okay, so they just tied off the hole. They pinched it.
Right. Okay.
They pinched the hole.
While he died.
That's what they did.
That's the end? What
That's
else
the
happened? Okay.
That's it. This is crazy. You guys
Let
got.
Union go.
I'm trying to read less. I think I'm gonna be.
Conrad's so good at reading.
That's why I got it. I'm taking a tolerance break.
Let's see. Worst ulcer remedy.
Killing yourself.
Here's one drugstore nostrum that may be a lot worse than an ailment it treats. Ulcer RX, which unprocessed cow dung, a whole wheezing man, redolent of barns covered with brown dust, showed up in an emergency room of a Tuscaloosa hospital in Alabama in 1975.
Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
Roll damn tide.
Roll Tide.
Telling physicians that he worked in the Ulcer RX manufacturing plant in a nearby Browns.
Don't give a piss.
The plant turned out to be an unventilated concrete blockhouse where he spent his work days filling vials with powdered manure stored in large sacks.
Wait, it was all poops that he puts in vials?
He puts them in vials and like.
This is the ulcer treatment? Yeah. Eating shit?
This dude in Tuscaloosa showed up at the hospital.
Would you rather eat shit or kill yourself?
The operation was shut down by the Alabama Attorney General.
Nice.
Wow, good on him. Good on that guy.
Let's give it up for the AG of Alabama. They're probably
the
still
last
great.
good thing that he did.
Yeah, he made eating shit illegal.
Damn.
Was that real? A lot of these, I'm
But
like, dang,
did it treat?
is this real?
Did it treat? This is all.
You're wondering if it actually works.
This is fake.
I think
This
this
is humor.
guy.
This is a humorist book.
It's a snake oil thing.
Yeah.
You think everything is fake in the book? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Conrad thinks everything is fake in the book, is what he's saying.
I think everything everywhere is fake.
I think this gentleman actually did sell snake.
Right. The guy in
The poop
Alabama
vials.
guy.
I think he really did that. I
Right.
don't think they were.
But it's funny because he didn't even do it. He was working for someone that made him do it, right? Like he's in this weird blockhouse, right? Maybe.
I think he's
That's
just
the
a
way
chemist. He's
it's
just like a
really-
chemist who works for a doctor.
Right.
The
But
doctor's
he's the
like,
guy
"Make
that
me
just
the poop."
puts poops in the.
Put the poop in the vial for the people with
Well, it
ulcers.
sounded like he was the guy.
Okay.
Did it treat a single ulcer? That's what I need to know.
Yeah, you want to know the effectiveness. Yeah. Okay, so this one's best orgy. The swamps of Sungai Siput, Malaysia, were the site of a mammoth love-in involving over 10,000 turned-on frogs in 1970. For an entire week, commencing on the night of November 7th, my birthday, the frogs copulated with bestial abandon, thrashing about in ecstasy, splitting the air with their orgasmic croaking. In fact, midway through the revel, the frogs appeared to be going through the throes of mass insanity. Their croaks turned to screeches, many tearing themselves and their mates apart. The first scientific observers on the scene were baffled by what they saw and figured it to be some sort of all-out frog war. As it turned out, the first rains of the November monsoon had just fallen, and the drought-stricken creatures had, en masse, gone berserk with glee and plunged headlong into group sex.
This is Battletoads.
Yeah.
Battletoads X-rated.
We're still unclear if these are real or not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, this is the ulcer one. I'm waiting for one where I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard that. You know what I mean? Okay, this one's called Most
What, the
Unusual
world's
Barbecue.
tallest man?
A passenger train in Cordoba, Argentina, was derailed recently when it struck and killed a cow lazing about on the tracks. No one was injured apart from the cow, but the appetites of the 700 passengers were apparently whetted by the mishap. While waiting for the repair crew to arrive and set the train on its way, again, the passengers dug a barbecue pit, roasted the cow over a large fire, and devoured it with gusto.
That's awesome.
That sounds great.
It's fake, but that's great.
You don't think that happened?
No.
That could happen.
I don't think that happened.
Why wouldn't it?
Their appetites were whetted after being in a train crash.
Yeah.
You know how you're hungry after you get into a train wreck?
Well, they're waiting for the repair crew. They're in the middle of nowhere and they're waiting for the repair crew.
And their appetites were whetted.
Right.
I've never been hungry. I'm always, like, you get in a car accident,
Right.
Are you hungry after the car accident?
I don't think it really. I think you would kind of just go, "Oh, the train has stopped." I don't think you would really read it as a.
But it
it's
was
not like a
derailed.
derailment, is
Didn't
it?
it say derailed?
A train was derailed recently
Yes.
when it struck and killed a cow. I think it'd be fine.
You fucking
It
slide
says
down
no one was injured apart from the cow. That's the part
No
where I
one was
went,
injured,
okay, I don't think anybody was
But
really...
it's still scary.
Right.
I'm just saying this might be fake. This is
Right.
again,
That doesn't... That you're not good at spotting stuff if you think that's the evidence.
Well, if
What are
maybe
you talking about?
That's poor evidence for it being fake.
You're poor evidence.
Well, you got-
Your Honor.
you got everybody thinking about this cow now, and so it's like
Right.
that'd make people hungry.
Yeah. You'd go... Everyone's going, we hit a cow, and they go, wait, is it... What?
Can we cook them?
Yeah. And this is... If you've ever met an Argentinian person from the Cordoba region, you would know this is exactly the type of shit they do.
Worst postage stamps.
They don't stick.
Yeah, they're just bad quality.
Yeah.
No. Union? Worst postage stamp?
Ooh, or like a really ugly duck.
No.
That's a really ugly stamp. Yeah.
Yeah.
Adolf Hitler was far from wealthy when he came to power, but his what the fuck?
Philatelist means
Philatelic.
stamp collector.
His philatelic group of Martin Bormann, philatelic coup of Martin Bormann, soon eliminated the Fuhrer's financial anxieties. In his memoirs, Inside the Third Reich, Albert Speer tells how Hitler's personal photographer, the director of the German post office, said Bormann decided that Hitler had rights to the reproduction of his picture and postage stamps and was therefore entitled to payments. Since Hitler's head appeared on all stamps, millions flowed into the privy purse. Hitler stamps.
But Hitler's...
People are making money off Hitler stamps.
Well, it's saying Hitler did, right?
Hitler
He's
made
saying-
a bunch of money, but into
Because they're using his likeness? That's
the
what he said?
privy purse.
The privy purse means...
That's just someone who's privy, and they take it.
Wait, what happened in it? I don't understand what happened in the thing you just read then. I thought it was going to the government, giving them more money. Because it has Hitler's picture on it, so Hitler gets the money or something.
Oh yeah, he did. He got all the money from the
Hitler
stamps.
gets all the money from
That
the
sucks.
stamp. But
That-
personally, not his own, not the government money, which is who usually gets the money for stamps.
He
Because it
gets-
pays
he
for the
gets all
post
money.
office to go places and
That
stuff.
sucks. Yeah, that was a bad one. I don't know.
Well, he's a bad man.
he is a bad guy.
He shouldn't have done that.
He shouldn't have taken all the money for the stamps.
You
I was
should've-
in the post office one time, and there's Walt Whitman stamps
Right.
for sale, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. Didn't he date a kid or something? Right?
What do you mean?
Didn't
you think?
Walt Whitman have a little boy?
I don't know, man.
That was
You don't know a lot about this stuff, so I wouldn't trust what you said. Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
I think you're wrong.
Oscar,
might be.
Oscar Wilde.
Yeah, we've talked about it like 6 times now. You don't remember that?
Oscar? No.
On the podcast, we've talked about.
We just start over.
I like the echo.
Okay.
We could just start over.
Yeah. Any information on Walt Whitman?
Are you getting hits or no hits?
Any?
It's very vague.
Yeah, it's just slanderous. A lot of the stuff, it's like when you say shit like that, it's
you're
slanderous.
Right. No, you're right.
And I don't really know how to react to it because it's like,
We could-
well, I don't know.
We could get sued by the family of Walt Whitman.
No, I just mean not slanderous in a legal sense, in a moral sense.
No.
Oh yeah.
I don't care about laws.
Well, I care about getting sued.
Yeah, I don't want to get sued. Just take it out. I didn't say anything about Walt Whitman.
Condolences to the Whitman family.
I didn't say shit about Wit. I didn't say shit about Wit.
Did you find any good evidence that might support?
It's just that it's more he's just a free love guy.
He's just really nice.
He's just really horny, I think.
Yeah.
And being horny,
Yeah.
being really horny.
It's the thing is I bet he was, but I don't think it's a common
I shouldn't
thing.
say that. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
No, it's funny because it was like
And we're learning.
it was like
We get to learn.
Cora was
And
talking
grow.
about at school, or she teaches at she taught at this weird school whatever you call it, a classical school.
Yeah.
And it was like they're teaching Kipling or something, like Rudyard Kipling, the guy that wrote the Jungle Book.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Isn't he like a colonialist who sucks or something?" And then everybody was like, "No, we all like him. Like, don't say stuff like that." Like they were like, it like ruined everybody's vibe of like studying and liking it just because she had kind of thought everybody would agree with her or something.
But
and it's like
is
also,
he? Or...
Yeah, dude, he sucks.
Okay.
The guy who wrote think about the Jungle Book. Think about the premise of the Jungle Book.
Yeah, Mowgli.
Yeah, dude. Like,
So,
no, he has like one poem that's really bad, and it's about like how white people rule and stuff. And
no, we're not with that.
But it's funny. It's the thing where you don't. I do it. It's a thing that everyone does on accident, where you just are kind of trying to be a little out of pocket, you know, with your cool opinion. And we do it. I do it too. You know what I mean?
I was just trying to be a little nasty.
Yeah.
Trying to be a little nasty boy.
It was good.
Nah.
It was fun. I liked it. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Cut it out.
Controversial.
We gotta get clicks, man.
Clicks.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought of a good way to think about your role on the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one of the 2 keywords for you. Manufacturing enthusiasm.
Wow, that sounds great, dude.
Yeah.
That's like the best thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
But but more genuine. Just try to do it genuine.
Thank you so much.
Not fake. Not in a fake way.
Thank you so much for that.
But if you're ever like, dang, I'm not really sure what I should be doing right now. You know what I mean? Because I feel like sometimes when you're floundering, it's hard.
All I do is flounder.
Right.
That's my thing. Is I'm the flail.
True.
Ladies and gentlemen, the flail. No, okay. I can manufacture enthusiasm.
Right.
I can do that. Who's excited for the next passage?
Right.
Me.
But
I missed this.
It doesn't have to be fake.
That was a real thing.
I'm being an
You said it
asshole.
doesn't have to be fake after I said the first real thing.
Yeah, I know. I feel bad. I feel bad.
And we grow. We're growing. What are we doing next? You have new books.
I got new books, yeah. Are we back in? Have we booked? All right, we're booking.
Been in.
All right. Here's, try this. This is just a book. It's an old book, so I kind of ripped it earlier on accident, so you might actually also rip it, but don't feel bad.
Okay.
Just on the spine right there.
I know.
Okay, but it's called, the name of the book is called How to Enlarge and Improve Your Vocabulary.
Whoa.
So I thought it'd be funny and there's like all this weird old writing in it. What year is it published?
There's a bunch of shit written in the front.
Yeah, people are working on this, you know.
This is from 1944.
Okay, nice. So I figured we'd just kind of maybe read the preface in the first chapter or something.
Winning Rules. That's the title of the. Sorry.
Yeah, there's some indicia included. Conrad's skipping the preface. All right, I'll read the preface if you don't want to. I thought it'd be probably better than the exercises for, you know, the...
No, we'll do the preface.
If you insist, Conrad, we should.
I think we should do the preface.
If you insist, okay.
I had this idea.
All right. I like this idea that you thought of.
All right, here I go.
Don't do it, please. Everyone's so pissed.
The ability to understand a large number and variety of words and to use them accurately and effectively is one of the chief assets with which lead to success and happiness in the modern world.
It is cheap. That is interesting to call it cheap.
Chief.
Oh, chief.
It's cheap.
It is cheap as well.
It's a cheap asset?
For you to purchase, you know what I mean?
Yeah, true. Oh, yeah, okay.
You know, it's like you just bought this book. I know, I bought this book for like $1. So.
This book is a cheap asset.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's a
hell
cheap
yeah.
asset.
It's also a chief asset.
Okay.
Words play an important part in almost all our activities. In every sort of work in which we are engaged, the meaning of spoken and written plans, directions, information, and advice must be grasped readily. In hours of relaxation, in conversation, in listening to the radio, at the movies or the theater, in reading newspapers, magazines or books,
TikTok.
and in any writing that we do, TikToks, words are the means through which the ideas of others reach us and our ideas reach others.
Not my dancing. Not my dancing.
We haven't figured out how to put dancing in books yet.
Not my dancing.
But when that day comes, God help us all. A good vocabulary, a real mastery over words and their uses, should be and can be a part of the equipment of everybody. I believe this. I firmly believe all these things.
We believe this stuff.
And we like this. This book is a carefully planned guide to the attainment of a powerful and effective vocabulary. Here is a home study course which commences with the simplest aspects of vocabulary building, and in the opening chapters gives the reader a thorough grounding from a very practical point of view. Later chapters introduce, in turn, all of the most valuable vocabulary aids, provide exercises and training in using them, and include unusually convenient lists arranged for ready reference.
Unusually convenient?
Unusually convenient lists.
I agree, yeah.
I don't think I don't know.
I've found a list unusually convenient.
These are unusually convenient lists. Wow. The reader is urged to take up the chapters in the order in which they are presented here. Then, when the whole book has been read, the reference list will prove exceedingly useful for frequent consultation, leading to greater ease and confidence in everyday speaking, writing, and reading. Chapter 1 provides an introduction. Do I want to line out the chapters?
You don't have to.
I'm not going to do that. We got to keep it a secret.
What's the last? Is there after?
It just says what's in the appendix. The author wishes to express his thanks to Doubleday, Doran and Company, and to J.M. Dent and Sons for permission. Whoa, okay. For permission to reprint a passage from Joseph Conrad's preface to his novel, The N-Word of Narcissus.
Oh, right.
This is the last paragraph.
And it is funny because...
It's not my fault.
But your name is Conrad.
My name is Conrad. But
your name is Conrad.
This guy's last name is Conrad.
Right, he wrote Heart of Darkness. He's very famous.
The N-Word of Narcissus. Wow.
With the hard R or O?
Hard R.
Wow.
Hard R.
Why have we never heard of this, I wonder?
That's crazy.
Why aren't our kids learning about this?
Copyright 1914, 1920 by Doubleday, Doran and Company. To Mr. J. Donald Adams in the New York Times. For permission to include a passage from Speaking of Books, which appears... Speaking of... That should have been the title of this podcast.
Speaking of books.
Speaking of books. Speaking of books. Welcome back to Speaking of Books.
That's your segment.
Speaking of books.
Speaking of books.
Yeah, that's good. We gotta, that's a thing. We need segments.
Whoa, if only.
We gotta do
someday.
segments.
Someday.
One of these days, we're gonna get segments.
We're doing our first one right now called Speaking of Books.
It's called Speaking of Books. Have you heard of movies? Check out Thief. I watched it. It's good. G and C Miriam Company. Just want some good things. No, we got to read this. No.
Are they any good?
No, not really.
I'll go chapter 1.
It's like thanking the people who let him use stuff from other published.
Oh, also, a thing slipped out that was in the book. I forgot was in here called The Art of Conversation and How to Apply Its Technique.
This is awesome.
By Milton Wright. Oh, but it's from the book. It's just, I'm realizing now it's torn off from a book jacket.
Oh, shit.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
I see what you mean. It's just a fragment of the jacket, the part that flaps in on the cover.
So, yeah, sidetrack.
I'm scared that I'm going to not know anything in this book.
Yeah, well, it's from 80 years ago.
Are you scared that they're going to say stuff and you're going to be like, whoa.
I was looking at some of the stuff and
I never knew
the
that.
lists. Okay. Most of us speak easily and effectively when use words with which we are familiar. If we describe an everyday occurrence in everyday words, our sentences take shape without effort, and the person with whom we are speaking knows exactly what we mean. The number of words which we use is less important than the success with which our words have in making our meaning clear. Sometimes we find that we cannot say precisely what we have in mind if we limit ourselves to words with which we are entirely familiar, and it is then that we feel the need for enlarging our vocabulary. At other times, for instance, in writing letters, we find that familiar words will express our meaning well enough, but that in order to give variety and color to what we are writing, we must occasionally use a less familiar word. Then again, in reading a newspaper or listening to the radio, we are bound to come upon words which we are not acquainted with. Satisfactory as our present vocabulary may be, for one or another of the reasons mentioned, we inevitably find ourselves increasing our store of words, and very soon we discover that learning To use new words well isn't interesting as it is valuable. This book will introduce you to many new words, which give you rules for using words accurately and effectively. Will offer you information which will make it possible to recognize and understand words which you may never have heard before. By the means of the exercises, you will be able to test your knowledge and your mastery of words. Okay.
I can't wait to test my mastery.
Yeah, I was like, maybe we'll just skip to the...
I feel like I have a mastery
how
of
to
words.
improve, how to enlarge.
It's never been tested.
Oh, this is still like an outline. Testing the size of your vocabulary. At the beginning of your study, you will want to have some idea to the size of your present vocabulary. Here's a method which will give you a fairly accurate figure. We have compiled a list of 252 words made up of words found near one another in 10 different parts of the dictionary. Then assembled at random in an order which has no relation to their place in the dictionary or to their meaning. The list includes some very easy words which are familiar to everyone, some very difficult words, some words which would be known to primarily by workers in one or another specialized field, and some very rare words which hardly anyone would know. These are used for special spells.
These are rare, dangerous words.
We have omitted all proper names, that is, names of people and places, and for the most part, we have omitted words which are derived directly from other words in the list. Many of the words in the list have more than one meaning. In testing yourself, call yourself correct if you know any one meaning. The best way to test is to use a pad and pencil so that the book will be unmarked. And the last guy that used this book did not do that. And you can later try the test on others. On your pad, list each of the 252 words in turn, numbering them as in the book, and after each word, write briefly what the word means. Put down something for every word that you can. There will undoubtedly be a number that you will have to skip. When you have finished, check your comments against the definitions given in the key on pages 312 through 324, giving yourself 1 point for each which you have written the correct meaning. Even if you have given more than one meaning and all of them agree with the definitions in the key, count only 1 point for that word.
Dude, we could do this.
Following the test.
This could be the whole episode.
We'll see. See how long it takes.
Testing our vocabulary?
Yeah.
This sounds good.
The following test, we shall give directions for computing the size of your vocabulary and the figures indicating the size of the average vocabulary. Okay, so I got all the words.
This is awesome.
Let me find this. Let me find all the answer section. Really
Yeah,
quick.
I can't wait to. I've
312.
I've always wondered how you even would test your vocabulary. Like, I've never thought about how that would even be possible. You'd be like, just hand someone a dictionary and be like, what do you, do you know this word? Do you know this word? Then you could just lie.
All right. How are we gonna? Does someone?
Maybe we should quiz each other.
Yeah, we'll each do a column. There's kind of columns.
We'll do random. Just pick random ones, but we can't repeat.
I'm just gonna do the column. They're already randomized. I just don't want to. All right, I'll do the first 22.
Do you want? Or you say the definitions?
No, I'm gonna read out the word and y'all will guess, and I can also guess too.
Okay.
And I'll tell you if I know it. Medley. Do you know it? Does everybody know it?
An arrangement of vegetables.
A combination, and a combination of things.
Yeah, I think that's right.
It's an arrangement of things.
Yeah, medleys are for songs mostly. If you have a bunch of songs together, that's a medley.
Yeah, I've heard vegetable medley.
Vegetable medley is but that's
medley.
that's more like figurative. That's like advertising talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being like, this is a medley of. It's like
bunch
what a
of-
symphony of vegetables we have for everybody.
A
Like
bunch of different things gathered.
it is. I have crafted a sonata for you to eat this evening. Like it's not. It's
confectionary
very. That's not the
sonata.
standard use.
A sonnet of bread.
Symmetry.
Symmetry?
You guys know symmetry?
Symmetry.
I bet, right? Yeah.
Almost like
Where-
mirrored.
Where
Yeah.
it's mirrored, where it matches.
Yeah, you
its
guys got it. Whatever.
reverse.
Okay, rooster. You guys know rooster.
Male, there's the thing that's screaming next door.
Cowrie. Kauri.
Cowrie.
I would think it's some sort of shell. That's my guess.
I think it's an instrument. I
Okay.
think it's a musical instrument.
Union, what's your guess?
I feel like it's a pattern.
Okay. So I'll do the first 10 and then go look at all the hard ones.
Okay.
Okay, so we got Cowrie. Antagonize. We know antagonize, right?
Yeah.
Anybody?
To make angry, to
Wait.
upset.
Conrad does.
To harass. What the hell?
Well, see?
Whoa, there you did it. No, I think
just
you're kind of
antagonized
talking
me.
about being antagonized.
I've been antagonized.
Antagonizing just means you're against the protagonist. You're the antagonist.
What is it? So just
The bad guy. You're being the bad guy.
opposing.
Antagonizing people is being the bad guy. Kind
Okay, I
of.
thought it was just harassing.
It is sort of that. That's kind of the
All right. Well, I guess I didn't
sort of
know that one.
right. No, you got it. You got it. I would count 1 point.
Thank you.
Profanity.
Language.
You guys know
language
profanity.
that's not
Language.
socially.
Opuntia. Opuntia.
Opuntia.
Opuntia.
I think it's like poignancy in speaking, like
Sure.
succinctness.
Sure.
I'm gonna guess a pattern again.
You're gonna go pattern again. That's smart. Opuntia. I would think this is for Opuntia. That's when you Opuntia. It's a special drink.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Ceremonial. Or
No, that's something like that. Yeah. Have you guys ever played
Wine.
Balderdash?
like
this is kind of like what
ambrosia? Are you
Balderdash
thinking
is.
of ambrosia.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting off that,
Yeah.
sort of thing. But
This is
you know,
what
south
I'm-
of the equator,
We
we
should
don't
play
know the
Balderdash.
answer.
Yeah.
This is pretty much what Balderdash is. Have you ever played Balderdash?
No.
So it's like there's just a weird word, and then everybody writes down a fake definition, and then
Yeah.
one person writes down the real definition,
Oh, shit.
and then they read them all out. The person that wrote down the real one reads them all out, and everybody has to guess.
Sounds fun as hell.
It's
The
pretty.
next
It's the
word.
best one. Yeah. Okay. Escalator, we know that.
Escalator.
Medium, we know that. Symposium, we kind of know that.
This, what we're
Yeah,
doing right
pretty
now.
much.
is
All
a
right, let me look.
symposium.
All right, 1 through 10. All right.
Cowrie.
Cowrie, a tall timber tree of the pine family found in New Zealand.
Damn.
Whoa.
What did you say? What
A
did
shell.
You, a shell.
There are things called cowrie shells. It's spelled
Okay.
different
A
though.
tree is a kind of natural pattern, if you think.
Yeah, sure. Union was right. Union's gonna come out on top no matter what. Opuntia, a large group of the cactus family, including the prickly pear.
No, never in a
Cactus?
million years. Sort
It's
of a
the-
pattern too.
Well, yeah.
A
Like
large
tree.
group of the cactus
A
family.
cactus is sort of a tree,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which we have established is a pattern.
Yep.
So there we go. Union 2.
Whoa.
Union's up.
Union's up.
There
Up
we go.
Union.
All right. You want to do the next
Yeah, dude.
20?
I got
Well, maybe we'll just do
I'll
like.
do the next 30.
What if we do? No, 10's good, and then maybe we'll all do it twice. So
Bust
we'll do
out-
60.
Bust out a quick 50.
We'll do 60.
All right, so it's after symposium, right?
Yeah.
Proficiency. We know.
You know that. That's when
No.
you're good at stuff. You can do stuff,
Expert.
but not expert. Just right above, not being
capable.
improficient. Yeah.
Typically
Capable of
pertaining to
skill.
language.
Yeah.
Arrhythma.
Arrhythmia.
Arrhythma.
Arrhythma.
ERYTHEMA. Arrhythma. I think
Arrhythma.
we've been saying arrhythmia wrong.
Maybe. Arrhythma. I think that's arrhythmia is like your heart's weird, right? Arrhythma might be.
I think it's like a murmur.
I think
heart
it's.
murmur.
I think it's an astrological event or astronomical event. That's my guess.
Okay, what do you think it is?
I think it's a climate. A climate.
Okay. Climate.
Climate.
Type of climate.
Okay, we'll
Yeah, yeah.
remember that one.
All right.
Webfoot.
Webfoot.
Okay, now I think this is like
Is that
a
one word?
colloquial thing. Yeah, webfoot.
Webfoot. That's like a
Like what ducks have? Like a foot
Yeah.
with webs?
maybe.
Isn't it? How do you
I think
spell
it's
it?
webfoot. I
Like
think I
webfoot.
think it's a special tool that like plumbers use.
Shit. All right.
But I mean, I'm open to it
all
being
right.
just a part of a duck.
Now, are you ready for a punch in the gut?
Right.
Roof.
Roof. Yeah, it's the top of a building
Structure
top of a
at
structure.
The top of a building.
that keeps off rain.
It keeps off rain. It has to keep off rain
Yeah.
for it to be a roof. Karma.
Karma is my god. Karma is my god.
right, so we know
Karma
that
is
one.
my nothing friend.
Escapement.
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 Oh, escapement.
Escapement.
With a V or a P?
P.
Escapement.
Escapement.
It's a.
That's actually French. Escapement.
That's what I take when I'm trying
No,
to get the hell out of
this-
a conversation. I pop an escapement, and I get out of there.
I think it's a legal term.
Thank you.
This is actually as a type of climate, but it's like a.
You're thinking of an escarpment.
right.
That's an escarpment.
So what is escapement to you?
It's a type of escarpment.
Okay. There's a lot of. I'm getting it. Okay. Profligacy.
Profligacy.
Profligacy. F-L-I-gacy.
Profligacy. Profligacy is.
Profligacy is
Profligacy.
potential to harm.
Profligacy is just
Physical.
having kids.
Proliferation.
Yeah, that's what I think it's related to that somehow.
Okay, what do you think it is, Eugene?
I'll agree with Andrew.
Okay,
Nice.
so
I
2
heard
for
his
pregnant.
answer.
What are you thinking?
I said it was like profligacy is like a nature, aggressive nature.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
medicine man.
Yeah, we know him. It's like a doctor, but you aren't white.
Native American doctor.
My
Non-white doctor. Opulence. We know opulence.
Fanciness.
Fancy stuff.
Fancies.
Stuff that's pleasing to the eye. Weft.
Weft. W-E.
Opposite of white.
Weft. That's funny.
Weft.
White. I get what you said.
Thanks.
Like right.
Yep.
Okay. Weft. Weft is a part of a sailing ship.
Okay. I think it's like weft. Weft?
It. For some reason, I
It
thought
could be an
sailing
adjective.
too.
Not a lot of them
I
have
think
been
it's a
adjectives.
verb.
Okay.
Left.
Wefting. You're
But
thinking of
there's no
wafting,
other,
kind of.
there's, oh no, there's verbs in here. There's verbs in here.
Yeah.
I think it's like oh fuck, no, I'm thinking of wafting.
Yeah.
I bet.
Shit.
I'm gonna guess it's an organ on a beaver.
That's good.
Okay, I think it's like a fabric, something that fabric does. I think it has something to do with fabric.
How many more before we get to check?
That was 20,
Oh, okay.
so we can,
20. Yeah, go check them.
yeah.
Go check.
We're going into the key.
Going to the key.
Yeah, here we
What were we wondering about?
Erythema.
Erythema. What was it?
Abnormal redness of the skin.
Oh, I have that.
Shout out to the erythema community.
Well, my arrhythmiacs.
Where are
Arithmatics.
the arithmetics at? We have representation for the
R/arithmatics.
Yeah, exactly. Web foot, a foot with toes connected by a web. Okay, it was not a curveball.
Nice.
Roof. That was hard, but we figured it out.
Easy.
Escapement is a part of a mechanism of a watch or clock which controls the motion of the wheelwork, through which the energy of the weight or mainspring is delivered to the pendulum or balance, the carriage control movement.
I know exactly what they're
typewriters.
talking about, yeah.
Rare, there's a little down here. Rare, a way of escape.
Yeah, that's not, yeah, but don't count that.
That's like
Don't, if you
also-
give yourself a point for that.
It's like in Jeopardy where it's like that, where he looks to the
He looks
side and he's like,
down.
they will accept that.
Nah,
But you know they don't want it.
They don't.
Profligacy is wasteful conduct.
That's kind of what you said.
Dissolute, wasteful conduct, dissipation. I kind of.
You almost said that.
Not really. I don't think it's in reference to like people. I think it might be like.
Wasteful conduct? Only people can conduct
or like
themselves.
a business, like a
Oh,
corporation.
sure, yeah.
Can
The profligacy of GP, DP,
of
BP.
BP. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
The medicine man, we got that nailed. Weft, in weaving, the thread. It is in weaving, and it's the thread carried by the shuttle, which passes over and under the stationary warp.
Shit!
Also called the woof. It's also called the woof. We would have also accepted woof.
I know Wolf!
You
I know Wolf!
All right. Okay. All right,
Damn.
Mr. Texture Climate. All right. You're going to do 20 through 30,
21 through 30.
21 through 30.
Oh, did you not do 20?
No, 20 weft was 20.
Okay.
20 through 30.
All right.
Get off my Stop the record. Unions, pause for a second.
We gotta go fight
Get
outside.
off my ass, dude. We gotta christen this
We gotta
yard
go fence.
by fucking wailing on you.
Uh,
My brand new back. You're gonna disrespect me in my home?
fellas.
In my echoey ass home?
Coverlet.
Coverlet, that's a part of a bed,
Yeah.
isn't it? Or
It's
what do
a
you guys
sweater.
Coverlet? Do you know?
Yeah.
It's a sweater for a dog.
Isn't it it's like the outside thing on the pillow? Isn't that a coverlet? Like if you have those decorative pillows that you put. You make up your
It's
bed
a-
and it matches your
It's not a
comforter.
duvet.
That's the duvet. The comforter's the duvet. The coverlet, I think, is a decorative pillowcase.
Okay, I think it's a sweater for an animal or for a car.
This is from the 40s.
I think it's a cover for.
They
your
don't
car.
have pets
A
or
thing for your
cars.
car.
Cover
No one in the 40s had a pet or a car,
Cover
Conrad.
What are you talking about?
I feel like it's just a cover you put over something.
Oh, right, that too, yeah. Coverlet.
Ansate. Ansate.
How do you spell it?
Ansate.
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 A-N-S-O.
Sate.
Ansate.
Ansate.
I think
Ansate.
To sate, feeling sated.
S-E-T-T-E?
Sate.
Oh, S-A-T-E.
A-N-S-A.
Oh, it's like insatiable, right?
Insatiable. That's I.
Right.
I think it comes from because like you're sated, you're full, you're satisfied.
Ansat.
Ansate could be like to make
It's with an
someone
A?
hungry.
A.
Yeah.
Ansate.
It could be like to make someone hungry.
Unsate.
To like anti.
No.
Trying to do
knows?
etymology here, and we'll come back to it.
And well, we don't know it. It's mainly what's your we got to make our guesses.
That was my guess.
I think
What is it? What's your guess?
To make hungry.
Okay, ansate. I think it's a term used with animals and their biology.
it's a French ant.
That's smart. French is smart just to have
French
as part
thing.
of your answer.
Yeah, that's good. Damn, Union's good.
Prognathosis.
Prognathosis.
Prognathos. Prognathous. We're just gonna come back. to
Prognathi. Isn't that like prognathizing?
that. Prognathous.
Prognothith.
Prognothith.
I think that seems. Yeah, it's just
Prognathos?
right. It's like your. That's your guess. I think it's a guess.
Prognathos.
It's a really good guess, though.
I'm gonna.
That's my guess.
You want to hear my guess? Pass.
Any guess? You know,
I
for
think-
prog rock.
I don't know. I
Prog
bet
rock
it's some
foods.
kind of mechanism. In some,
Yeah, that
like,
watch one really makes you think about all of the other ones now.
Yeah.
in a different
Mechanism.
It's
way.
the part of like the engine of a crane
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah. What is this? Wait. Yeah. Okay. I'm ready for the next
It's
one.
keel haul.
That's to drag someone behind a boat.
It's when you drag them.
Yeah, it's a
Whoa.
pirate thing.
Keel haul.
Or you tie a rope to someone's ankles, tie it to the boat. And the
N-
boat
You
goes.
keel haul them,
Keel hauling.
Whoa,
Because it's
that
the
makes
keel
sense.
of the boat.
and they're hauling them.
Mm-hmm. And it's a way you just kill someone.
I hope
you
that's-
either walk the plank.
I hope that's what the back says.
Would you rather walk the plank? Is a real
or be
question.
keel hauled?
Yeah.
Keel haul.
Would you prefer to walk the plank or get keel hauled?
I guess walk the plank because I feel like I could make it out. Better chances in
Better
open
chances
water.
of living.
Yeah.
If you just jump in and
Yeah.
they leave you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
sound bad.
Keel haul, you'd have to do something real bad.
Yeah.
You'd have to be the
That
worst
sounds
guy.
painful too.
Yeah.
So painful.
So, what's the next one?
But there's no
webbing.
propeller.
Next,
Wedding?
webbing.
Webbing. They're obsessed with this webbing stuff.
Webbing.
webbing, material.
I feel like it's
Stuff
like
in between your, webbing.
Connecting points.
I don't think that's a tough one. I think that's one of the
Material
easy ones.
connecting.
We know that one.
Rosa
Locations, nodes.
line.
What?
Sandy line?
Whoa, what the fuck? Rosanna line?
Rosanna line?
Rosanna line.
It's a chemical used in food processing.
I've never heard
It's
of
red 40.
Rosanna line.
I think
It's
I'm
something
gonna
for.
second, I'm gonna second Andrews about how it's a food.
Definitely a chemical or something.
extra.
It might be something they use like making perfume.
It's a strawberry extract.
I'm guessing. I'm changing mine to perfume.
I'm gonna say it's something you're not allowed to do with women anymore.
That's true. Yeah, that'll be true.
Covenator?
Covenator.
Covenator.
Covenator. That's part of a train.
Covenanter.
Oh, covenanter.
A covenanter is someone who brings you into a covenant, who like enters you.
Oh, a covenanter. Oh, right.
Covenant.
Covenanter.
I'm going literal.
Okay.
Convent or coven?
Covenant. It's literally covenanter.
Oh,
Covenant.
Or-
ER at the end.
covenanter.
Covenanter.
Okay. Wait.
Weigh. To,
Or weigh.
To measure in pounds
Uh,
or kilograms.
Way. Yeah, not mass.
No, just weigh, like the verb.
I know, yeah.
Symphysis?
We know that.
Symphysis?
Yeah, we know.
We know that one.
Symphysis.
How many more left before we check?
One last
Oh,
one.
wait.
And this is crazy, and I know it.
Megacephalic? Megacephalic?
Yep. Megacephalic.
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 I'm
Means
gonna
you,
bite my tongue.
does it mean you have like big feet or something, or
Close.
big hands?
Pretty close.
Big,
Further up the body.
big nose,
Bigger. Kind of. You're right in the right.
ears,
No.
mouth,
No.
Nipples.
nostril.
Brain.
Brain.
Big brain,
Giant brain.
giant brains.
Usually, and you consequently normally a giant head.
Megacephalitis.
Yes.
Well, no, we gotta
Oh,
check
yeah,
him.
the-
I can check him if you want.
What's the
It's bookmarked, but we don't. Oh no, it's
I
not.
fucked up. That's my fault.
313. On
Shit.
313, I think.
Bad book
But
etiquette.
bookmark the other one, where we were. No, where we.
No, bookmark
where
the
you're
place
gonna go
where
back
we
to.
were.
It's where your hand
It's
is.
where your hand is. Just there you go. We got it. We're good. We're good. We're doing good.
We just need 12 people, and then we'll be able to read
We
this
need
book.
a team.
We need more people to read this
Yeah.
one book.
Need
Okay.
interns.
It was 21.
21.
Small bed cover.
That's a coverlet. Okay.
Yeah.
You had that.
And say having a handle.
What?
Ansate.
Yeah. And
Ansate is having a handle.
So it's like your cup is ansate if it has a handle,
I have an Ansate car door.
right? How do you spell it? I'll look it up on the phone.
ANSATE.
Ansate. Having a handle or handle-shaped part.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a good for you in carpentry.
Prog.
You gotta. Hey, we need to make this ansate. Hey guys. Hey, we a lot of these cabinets need to be finished. They need to be ansate.
Yeah. They don't. I don't know how to say that. I need to figure out how to say that in Spanish.
Yeah.
For them to
Ansate.
communicate.
Ansate.
Ansate. Ansate. They just like take it down. They just,
So prognathosis.
Right. What was that one?
It was having a protruding jaws.
Whoa.
okay.
And
It's a body
then
thing.
keelhaul was torture. Webbing.
It's any torture though. It's like a pirate thing that they, like something that people use.
It's to
figuratively.
haul under the ship's keel.
Under
Right,
the
but
ship-
people use it now to mean torture. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay.
Like, the coach was really keel hauling us
We
the other
got
day.
keel-hauled
Gotcha.
in
I think that's what
factory,
the
yeah.
first definition.
factory.
Webbing.
We were at the
First thing I
factory.
thought of. People work in factories still.
Yeah,
Webbing.
I put little poops in a vial.
I'm in the poop vilers union, local 248.
Webbing.
Tuscaloosa.
Tuscaloosa poop vilers union. I
Uh,
paid my dues. What?
webbing's a close woven tape used for upholstery straps.
Cool.
Okay.
What? Okay.
It's a tape.
We knew that.
Fine.
A chemical
Fine.
used in, rosalinine
Rosalina.
What is it?
is a
Rosalinine.
chemical used in preparing many aniline dyes.
Oh, it's for
Aniline?
dye.
So
Aniline dyes?
I don't know what that is.
Aniline dyes?
Aniline?
Maybe that means edible.
ANAL.
ANI line.
ANI line. Aniline mean it's dyes for pills and stuff.
Rosanna.
So maybe it's for food.
Aniline
Rosanna
is
That's what I
line.
think.
early source. of-
Rosanna line. That sounds like a word.
Rose aniline.
It has the word in it.
I think it's red 40.
Okay.
They look pretty brown in what I'm.
Covenator, one who makes a covenant or solemn.
Covenant. Got it. Nailed it. Covenanter.
Symphysis, the growing together of separate parts into a single whole.
Yeah, we know that.
Oh, right.
We knew that one.
Okay.
Synthesis.
I was reading it for me.
All right. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, man.
Megas,
Oh yeah, Conrad knew this one.
Cephalic.
How did you know this one, Conrad?
large-headed.
Remember how I told you there was always like
It was large.
my family worked with the
Oh, the megacephalids.
mental
Right, the community.
community.
Yeah.
The mental community. People who are absolutely
I could just find
mental.
it. You could do that.
And
Everyone keeps fumbling the book.
So every time we would go, I would just, grew up around people who were of all
And they're
shapes
using
and
like
sizes,
medical terminology to describe people's
all
heads.
shapes and sizes.
It seems like I wouldn't use sort of diagnosis vocabulary.
There's this couple that was and they were great. They were a brother and sister. They weren't a couple, but they were microencephalid.
Oh, micros.
They had a couple. They were a couple of micros. They were super nice, but they were just a brother and sister, and they would come over for St. Patrick's Day. They just had
Tiny
like
heads.
baby-sized
Small
heads.
heads.
Regular-sized bodies and torsos. Just
Right.
little. Oh my God.
Everything's falling.
All right, sorry. Sorry, the house is.
As we were saying, we have a theory that every time Conrad starts saying things that are morally questionable, bad things will start happening.
That's kind of good, I guess.
Yeah, it means they're looking out for
God being like, no.
Hey,
no,
man.
No. Hey.
you. Hey. Where'd Union go?
Union walked away.
To the bathroom.
He could be anywhere.
Oh, I don't know.
So yeah, I
All
bought
right,
5
we're gonna
ceiling
start on a
fans.
couple of these.
Let's go. Yeah, we got to
Prognosticate.
So far,
I know
we're kinda-
prognosticate.
Prognosticate is to give a prognosis, which is to.
But I think when people usually use it, they're using it like sarcastically. And so when it's like I don't need your prognostication or whatever, it's like kind of almost like
unwarranted diagnosis.
right. Or it's like usually a doctor would prognosticate, but you wouldn't use the word unless you were like talking about his relationship. You don't need to prognosticate.
Prognosticate is to deliver a prognosis.
Right.
That's my guess.
I think it's more just to be condescending or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we'll see what it
We'll
says.
see.
We'll see what
We'll
it
see.
says. Yeah. Anoint, we know that. Medical. Assuage. ESCUAGE.
Ooh. Isn't it to like put aside?
Assuage.
Assuaging their differences.
We were assuaged.
We assuaged our.
I thought I knew it, and then you said it, and then that's like very similar to what I said, but I feel
What'd
like there
you
was.
think?
I don't remember. Assuage is just kind of what you're saying. Like you, it's something that happens to doubts. So you,
Yeah, you have.
you're putting them away. I think it's just putting them away.
Yeah, putting them aside.
Yeah, aside. Did you say aside?
Yeah, I said putting them aside.
Okay, that sounds right.
Like just forgetting. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Weevil.
It's a bug.
Rondo. Basketball player.
My weed dealer.
Basketball player. Yeah, Rondo. Biggest badass in cell block C.
Rondo. Oh, him? That's Rondo.
That's Rondo.
He fought 10 guys in the shower using nothing.
Do you know Rondo?
but a bottle of shampoo.
Rambo's Mexican cousin.
No. You guys know Rondo? Do you really not know Rondo?
Rondo.
You don't know Castlevania Rondo of Blood?
No. What's Rondo? I don't know Rondo.
You don't know Rondo of Blood?
I'm Symphony of the Night. Man.
Symphony of the Night? Well,
just
that
Symphony
might
of
give
the
you a
Night.
clue to what Rondo means. Or
Is
its
it-
definition.
Is it? Oh, I've heard this in music appreciation.
I think it's just
class.
some music word. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
really know what it means.
It's
It's some part of a symphony or something.
Yeah, it's like the denouement and
I bet it's fast.
the Rondo.
I think it's when it's fast. That's my guess. Or when they're coming back.
Oh, okay.
something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Ricer car.
Some kind of word.
Sort of like reser car.
Okay.
You know?
Keel.
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 Back of a boat. The bottom of a boat.
Yeah, we already did
back-
keel haul.
the
That's so
bottom-
funny. They said they weren't gonna have words.
The bottom of the back of the boat.
Didn't it say they weren't gonna have words? Most part, we have omitted words which are derived directly from other words in the list.
So they just bullshit right off.
All right, we need an editor.
Fuck.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Everyone involved in the making of
Profuse.
this book is dead.
Profuse.
Okay.
Yeah, they're dead.
They're all dead. That's kind of cool.
Profuse.
In large amounts.
Profuse. You guys?
Sweating
I
profusely.
feel like it's
Yeah, I think that's the
yeah.
A profuse quantity of milk.
Wedlock.
Wedlock? I don't know.
Oh,
I have no
wedlock.
idea.
It's
Yeah. What's wedlock, Union? What does that? What does wedlock mean to you?
fuck. It's when they're not married.
Not married.
You're thinking of out of wedlock.
Out of wedlock. Yeah.
Out of wedlock means you're not married because you're not in it. So it's like when you get married, you lock in.
Oh yeah. You are married.
All right. Prognosticate, to predict, to prophesy.
Okay.
So it's kind of
wasn't-
what.
It wasn't a doctor thing.
Well, he prophesies, what your diagnosis is.
Doctors
kind
are
of.
sort of prophets.
He's
Yeah.
or he predicts.
Yeah, they're oracles.
But prognosticate
In a way.
is usually something your dad would do, and your mom is mad. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to prognosticate all the time.
Yeah. Have you heard that? Do your parents
No, no
say
one says
that?
that. It seems like something they would say on TV or something. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Assuage.
Cast asunder.
I think I might have. It says a tax levied on the tenant of a knight's estate.
What?
Whoa.
But I might have been. It's ESCUAGE.
Oh.
I thought that was assuage.
No.
But maybe it's not. I get it. How do you spell assuage?
Literally just 2 S's.
Okay.
So
Sorry, guys.
No, whatever.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's fine, man.
Did you know escuage?
I don't know escuage.
I'll give you one guess.
Escuage?
I've already read the
It's a
definition.
tax or levy.
Yeah. So you did know it. Okay.
Yeah.
Weevil, we know. Okay, rondo.
But I still don't know it,
Right. A musical composition in which the main theme is repeated 3 or more times in the same key.
Okay. Okay, it's recursive.
yeah.
Recursivity.
Profuse is lavish, bountiful.
Lavish.
Bountiful is what you
Bountiful,
said.
yeah.
More about what you said.
In more words.
Yeah. Wedlock, marriage, or the marriage ceremony.
Oh, okay. That's what it is.
All right. I feel like we've run our course, maybe.
We've tested our vocabulary.
I think it's run its course. Unless you guys want to hit some more.
I kind of like it. It's kind of fun.
All right. Well, we'll finish y'all's round.
We could just skip to a crazy number.
Yeah,
Or-
we're
no,
good.
I wanted to read the handwritten shit in the front.
That's
Is
not
that-
one of the options.
That's not an option?
We're not good at reading handwriting. It's just going, wow, this handwriting's kind of confusing. And it's just them doing the exercises from the book, I'm pretty sure. Like,
Yeah. All right. What if we just skip ahead? What if we just pick out some here? What's the definition
well,
of
we can.
root
I
beer?
was saying we could come back to it later. We don't want to use them all up.
Yeah. But first of all, what's the definition of root beer?
It's a sweet drink that's carbonated and derived from the sarsaparilla root of the tree.
We will see. I just wanted to see what
Sweet
the-
carbonated
I just need to see the
beverage
definition of-
derived from the root of the sarsaparilla tree.
Sweet carbonated beverage.
Poop color water.
Poopy water. A slightly alcoholic beer made from various root extracts.
It's
What?
alcoholic.
Huh?
The 40s is nuts.
The 40s
Oh,
rules. Root beer had booze
They
in
like
it?
coke. What is coke? It has cocaine in it. Okay,
Yeah,
we should have said that.
A medicine, a pharmaceutical medicine
Should have said that.
containing the coca leaf.
Containing cocaine. Popular among the jet set.
The jet setters.
All right. How much time are we sitting at? How much time? 45. That's great. That's perfect.
get a short one.
What do you mean?
I thought you were saying.
That's perfect for us to move on to a different thing.
Yeah, that's good. We'll close it out. Never mind. Caught the wrong message there.
But yeah, so it was kind of. I feel like I've been wanting to kind of get into one of the pillars of the show is that we really appreciate stuff that no one else cares about.
Yeah,
Part of it is, and that is going to be illuminated in the essay that we're going to read
Send
from
us your
G.K.
lonely-
Chesterton's Tremendous Trifles.
the loneliest book.
Will expound on it. So he kind of takes it even more on a cosmic level, that idea. But we'll get into it. And then after that, I figured we could do a couple Andy Rooney's, which will tie in as well.
Andy Rooney.
Because I feel the thing about the G.K. Chesterton thing is it kind of, you're like, oh, this is kind of Andy Rooney's perspective maybe as well.
We got to do a whole episode on Andy Rooney.
This is how we're introducing it.
Just Rooney.
I love your ideas, but we don't need them voiced on the show.
No, they like this. I like this stuff. People crave it.
No, people don't like you. I know
Comment.
that. No.
Yeah,
What?
A lot of people have been sending me specific messages about how they wish you would talk less.
That's crazy.
It's just me though. I'm texting myself.
That's wild.
Okay. So we got the Tremendous Trifles. Yeah, I'll just read it. What's it say on the back? Okay, this is what it says on the back of Tremendous Trifles. The 39 short essays that make up Chesterton's delightful book are the result of sitting still and letting marvels and adventures settle on him like flies. Actually, the author does move around quite a bit to Germany, France, and on foot in England, when he tires of waiting for a train. Everywhere he goes, Chesterton looks at ordinary things and asks us to see how extraordinary they are. The essays gathered here are a testament to G.K. Chesterton's faith, not specifically his faith in religion or a higher power, but in the ability to discover something wonderful in the objects, experiences, and the people that cross our paths every single day. With his unique brand of humor and insight, he demonstrates how the commonplace adds enormous value to the landscape of daily life. Full of both good sense and nonsense, Chesterton's commentaries, first published a century ago, remain fresh today. So yeah, and I think a lot of these were in the newspaper or something.
Okay.
But maybe it's just a book.
Do you ever feel like your ability to find wonderful things is being tested?
Always, yeah. Oh, there's a preface. I read the back of the book because I didn't know there'd be a preface. Sorry, guys.
Read the preface?
Yeah, I'll read the preface, man.
The prefaces are kind of nice.
Unless
they start outlining what's in the chapter.
If they start listening,
Like,
if they
what
start
you're-
doing an essay where they're just saying,
Here's what you're about to read.
in paragraph 3, I will be outlining the causes of the war.
We'll
in
just watch you
1812.
outline it, man. We don't need to.
Yeah.
Don't give us a warning.
Right. These fleeting sketches are all republished by kind permission of the editor of the Daily News, in which paper they appeared. The amount to no more than a sort of sporadic diary, a diary recording one day in 20, which happened to stick in the fancy. The only kind of diary the author has ever been able to keep. Even that diary he could only keep by keeping it in public for bread and cheese. But trivial as are the topics, they are not utterly without connecting thread of motive. As the reader's eye strays with hearty relief from these pages, it probably alights on something, a bedpost or a lamppost, a window blind or a wall. It is 1,000 to 1 that the reader is looking at something that he has never seen, that is, never realized.
Whoa.
He could not write an essay on such a post or wall. He does not know what the post or wall mean. He could not even write the synopsis of an essay as the bedpost, its significance, security essential to the idea of sleep, night felt as infinite, need of monumental architecture, and so on. He could not sketch and outline his theoretic attitude towards window blinds, even in the form of a summary. The window blind, its analogy to the curtain and veil. Is modesty natural? The worship of and avoidance of the sun, etc., etc. So yeah, he's being like, no one could write those. Yeah. All this stuff is around us all the time, but no one has really thought about what it all means.
No
you
one
know?
talks about the worship of the
What
sun.
are the implications of blinds in our lives? That's what he's saying.
That's a good question.
That's what he's saying.
I'd say no blinds. Ever.
Yeah. Is it natural?
Peer into my home.
Is modesty natural?
Is
Yeah.
modesty natural?
None of us think enough of these things on which the eye rests, but don't let the eye rest. Why should the eye be so lazy? Let us exercise the eye until it learns to see the startling facts that run across the landscape,
I think we're all pretty good at that.
as plain as a painted fence. Let us be
Right?
ocular athletes. Let us learn to write essays on a stray cat or a colored cloud. I have attempted some such things in what follows, but anyone else may do it better, if anyone else will only try.
Ocular athletes?
Yeah, we're ocular athletes.
We're going to work on our ocular athletes. I have glasses, so that's not good.
Yeah, it's 1909, and he's saying we're ocular athletes.
I've got a handicap already.
Right, but he's not
Right?
talking about your real eyes, though, Conrad. He's talking about your mental eye.
My third eye.
Your non-literal eye. Not your third eye. That's a fourth eye,
I
actually.
get you,
This
man.
is more just the eye. You know when they say the
How many
eye of the
eyes do I
beholder?
have?
The eye of the beholder.
Okay, so I've got my third eye, my eye of the beholder,
Right.
and this eye. And
Wait, don't all beholders have two eyes unless they're a pirate?
Thank you.
The eyes of the beholder.
So I have 5 eyes. I'm learning I have 5 eyes.
No, it's just the royal eye, almost, you know.
So I've got a royal eye.
Yeah, you got a
third
royal eye,
eye.
third eye,
My 2 eyes.
Right.
That's 4 eyes.
bird's eye view.
I have a bird's eye view. What is the...
People love saying, what do they say?
I
They
have
go like,
AI.
and this is the view from 10,000 feet up.
I
Or
love
you've been
saying
saying
that.
that. You say that. I was like, who says that?
That's all I say.
Conrad says that all the time.
It's my job to have a 30,000-foot view of things. This is what I do. I'm not down on the ground. I've
It's
got
so
a
funny that
bird's
it's
eye.
like
It's like, I'm sure you've heard people say such different numbers, and whenever you are trying to say it, you're trying to say a higher number than the numbers they have said,
Yeah.
which is funny. Like,
There's always.
I'm
it's like,
100 feet up. Oh, really? I'm 1,000 feet up.
I've Google Earth satellite. You have Google Earth satellite. You're too far. I have a just drone's height,
Yeah.
80,000 feet. I've definitely heard people say that, and I want to start saying it. It's good project manager words.
You want to start?
Are we gonna start?
Yeah.
Are we going? Okay. Once upon a time, there were two little boys who lived chiefly in the front garden because their villa was a model one. Okay, hilarious start. They live in front of a model house. The front garden was about the same size as the
Model
dinner
house is
table.
just like a mass-produced kind of regular house.
I thought they meant like a. I gotta read further.
It's just where regular people live. It's
just
I think
regular,
in,
like
in,
this?
in England.
Like this.
Sure.
Are we gonna model? The front garden was about the same size as the dinner table. It consisted of 4 strips of gravel, a square of turf with some mysterious pieces of cork standing up in the middle, and one flower bed with a row of red daisies. One morning, while they were at play in these romantic grounds, a passing individual, probably the milkman, leaned over the railing and engaged them in philosophical conversation. The boys, who we will call Paul and Peter, were at least sharply interested
Biblical.
in his remarks.
Biblical.
Sorry. Burp count.
Conrad's going to Venmo anybody who heard that.
Anybody who heard that, I will compensate you for your time.
Venmo request, Conrad.
Venmo request me. I won't pay anything less than 100. For the milkman, who was, I need hardly say, a fairy. That's funny. Calling people a fairy is
Yeah,
gay.
I don't know what he means by that.
He's gay.
No, I've read the whole thing before. I don't think that's
No?
what he means.
Oh.
I think he means he's mysterious.
Right,
and
read the next
beautiful.
sentence. We might find out more.
For the milkman, yeah, this was in parentheses. I need hardly say he was a fairy. Did his duty in that state of life by offering them in the regulation manner anything that they choose to ask for. And Paul closed with the offer with a business-like abruptness, explaining that he had long wished to be a giant, that he might stride across continents and oceans and visit Niagara or the Himalayas in an after-dinner stroll.
He's like a fairy in that he can grant wishes. Or
Got
something,
it.
Like figuratively or something.
The milkman, producing a wand from his breast pocket, waved it in a hurried and perfunctory manner, and in an instant the model villa with its front garden was like a tiny doll's house at Paul's colossal feet. He went striding away with his head above the clouds to visit Niagara and the Himalayas. But when he came to the Himalayas, he found that they were quite small and silly looking, like the little cork rockery in the garden. Wow. And when he found Niagara, it was no bigger than the tap turned on in the bathroom. He wandered round the world for several minutes, trying to find something really large and finding everything small, still in sheer boredom. He lay down on all 4 or 5 prairies and fell asleep. Unfortunately, his head was just outside the hut of an intellectual backwoodsman who came out of it at that moment with an axe in one hand and a book of neo-Catholic philosophy in the other. The man looked at the book and then at the giant and then at the book again. And then in the book it said, "It can be maintained that the evil of pride consists in being out of proportion to the universe." So the backwoodsman put down his book, took his axe, and working 8 hours a day for about a week, cut the giant's head off. And there was an end of him. Adjust the book. He chopped this guy's head off, and he didn't move the whole time. He was asleep. Didn't even fucking feel.
Well, he's also bored. He
He was
doesn't,
asleep.
he
He's so
doesn't care
bored.
anymore, yeah.
Didn't give a shit. Cut my head off. I'm so bored. Cut
The
my
thing about
fucking
pride
head
is interesting, that it's about being out of proportion.
Yeah, and he saw something that was out of proportion. And he's like, "This has to die." Such is the severe yet salutary source of
Healthy.
salutary history of Paul. But Peter, oddly enough, made exactly the opposite request. He said he had long wished to be a pygmy about half an inch high, and of course he immediately became one. When the transformation was over, he found himself in the midst of an immense plain covered with a tall green jungle, above which, at intervals, rose strange trees, each with a head like the sun in symbolic pictures, with gigantic rays of silver and a huge heart of gold. Toward the middle of this prairie stood up a mountain of such romantic and impossible shape, yet of such stony height and dominance, that it looked like some incident of the end of the world. And far away on the faint horizon, he could see the line of another forest, taller and yet more mystical, of a terrible crimson color, like a forest on fire forever. He set out on his adventures across that colored plain, and he has not come to the end of it yet.
What do you think that plane was?
Sandbox or something, yeah. It was the gravel. It was the strips of gravel.
Yep.
Pretty crazy. Such is the story of Peter and Paul, which contains all the highest qualities of a modern fairy tale, including that of being wholly unfit for children. And indeed, the motive with which I have introduced it is not childish, but rather full of subtlety and reaction.
Idiots.
It's actually not for babies.
It's actually really subtle.
It is in fact the almost desperate motive of excusing or palliating.
Making more easy to swallow.
Thank you.
Palliating
The pages that follow. Peter and Paul are the two primary influences upon European literature today, and I may be permitted to put my own preference in its most favorable shape, even if I can only do it by what little girls call telling a story. I need scarcely say that I am the pygmy. The only excuse for the scraps that follow is that they show that they can be achieved with a commonplace existence and the sacred spectacles of exaggeration.
Sacred spectacles.
The sacred spectacles. The other great...
Yeah, we need to tell... Before every time we record, we should go, all right, everybody, don the sacred spectacles.
I'm wearing my sacred spectacles, and it's allowing me to witness the elegance of the page. The other great literary theory...
Speaking of books.
That concludes speaking of books. The other great literary theory, which is roughly represented in England by Mr. Rudyard Kipling. Speak of the damn devil.
And yeah, it's so funny because it's like G.K. Chesterton is like, and this guy sucks. Like,
yeah. Damn. We were just talking about how bad
just
he
prognosticating.
sucks. We were prognosticating about how bad he sucks.
On the negative influence on Kipling in post-Brexit America.
Post-Brexit. We're living in a post-Brexit America, folks. Just face it. Just swallow that pill and move on. It's post-Brexit. It's not pre-Brexit.
Really? Nova Scotia, come on, guys. You got
Brexit
this.
happened. Deal with it.
Nova Scotia needs the Brexit from
Open
Canada.
your eyes, Nova Scotia. Brexit is here, and it's here to stay.
Okay.
Kipling. Something about Kipling.
Rudyard?
Great literary theory, which is represented in England by Rudyard Kipling, is that we moderns are to regain the primal zest by sprawling all over the world, growing used to travel in geographical variety, being at home everywhere, is being at home nowhere. So just colonize, just be. This is like
It's fine, bro.
Yeah, this is so you'll
Whatever
own
makes
nothing.
you happy.
So you'll own nothing and be happy, kind of thing.
I mean, you own a whole country in your
Being at home everywhere is being at home nowhere. Let it be granted that a man in a frock coat is a heart-rending sight. It's a heart-rending sight, folks.
Folks, it's a hard-hitting sight, folks. Man in a frock coat.
I saw man, my heart's rended. My heart is rended. And the two alternative methods still remain. Mr. Kipling's school advises us to go to Central Africa in order to find a man without a frock coat. The school to which I belong suggests that we should stare steadily at the man until we see the man inside the frock coat. You got to see the man inside the frock coat.
Look inside the frock coat.
If we stare at him long enough, he may even be moved to take off his coat to us
And kiss us.
and show us his nipples and hair, his chest hair and his abs. Fuck, that tripped me up.
What's
Sorry.
it say?
Got thinking about this guy's bare chest. If we stare at him long enough, he may even be moved to take off his coat, and that is a far greater compliment than his taking off his hat.
Oh.
It's nothing to take your hat off. In other words, we
That's
may,
polite.
by fixing our attention almost fiercely on the facts actually before us, force them to turn into adventures, force them to give up their meaning and fulfill their mysterious purpose. The purpose of the Kipling adventure is to show how many extraordinary things a man may see if he is active and strides from continent to continent like a giant in my tale. But the object of my school is to show how many extraordinary things even a lazy and ordinary man may see if he can spur himself into the single activity of seeing. For this purpose, I have taken the laziest person of my acquaintance, Union, That is that is myself. It's me, Union.
I think it's G.K. Chesterton.
And made an idle diary of such odd things as I have fallen over by accident. Made an idle diary of such things as I have fallen over by accident, in walking in a very limited area at a very indolent pace. If anyone says that these are small affairs talked about in very big language, I can only gracefully compliment him upon seeing the joke.
And also, I would like to tell them to kill themselves.
If anyone says that I am making mountains out of molehills, I confess with pride that it is so. I can imagine no more successful and productive form of manufacture than that of making mountains out of molehills. I actually like making mountains out of molehills. It's actually good.
Yeah, it's called perspective.
It's
You
good.
idiot.
It's production.
If only you could make yourself small enough to realize that a molehill is.
But I would add this not unimportant fact that molehills are mountains.
Bitch.
One has only to become a pygmy like Peter to discover that. Peter the pygmy knows. You don't know. I have my doubts about all this very real value in the mountaineering, in getting to the top of everywhere and overlooking everything. Satan was the most celebrated of alpine guides.
Get him.
Damn.
Get him.
Well, damn. When he took Jesus on top of an exceeding high mountain, exceeding high mountain, and showed him all the kingdoms of earth. But the joy of Satan in standing on a peak is not a joy in largeness, but a joy in beholding smallness, in the fact that all men look like insects at his feet. It is from the valley that things look large. It is from the level that things look high. I am a child of the level.
Children of the level.
Children of the
level, rise up!
I am a child of the level and have no need of that celebrated alpine guide. I will lift up my eyes to the hills from whence cometh my help, but I will not lift up my carcass to the hills unless it is absolutely necessary. Everything is in an attitude of mind, and at this moment I am in a comfortable attitude. I will sit still and let the marvels and the adventures settle on me like flies.
Everybody's about to go on a hike,
And me
and I
like
go,
a
guys,
pile
I
of
have a speech I'd like to make before you guys go on that hike. Actually, there was one famous mountaineer in the Bible. His name was Satan.
Mountain guide. I know I'm not part of your hiking group, but you need to hear this.
No, it's them wanting me to come and me refusing, and then writing a thing about
I will
how-
sit still and let the marvels and the adventures settle on me like flies, like I am a turd.
From the back of the book.
There are plenty of them, I assure you. The world will never starve for want of wonders, but only for want of wonder. Whoa. That's crazy. That kind of got me hyped.
Yeah.
That got me pumped up.
Pretty
about
hype.
Adventures.
About doing nothing.
Yeah.
About having excuses for doing nothing
Is this-
ever.
is this
when
early-
everybody asks me to do anything?
This is like nihilist kind of, where it's just like,
No, it's like the opposite.
it's just not.
He hates
Well, it's like
nihilism. Everything is very important.
nothing. Oh yeah.
Everything is very
Anti-nihilism.
important.
But it's like it has no meaning, so you can assign.
No, it's all very
You can
important.
assign any meaning. It's all very.
No, it's all very important. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, maybe I'm misunderstanding, but it's nice.
you got it. You
I
kinda
like
got
it. Molehills are mountains.
Exactly.
Bro.
Yeah.
I'm a child of the level.
Yeah.
I'm a
Book-
child
I
of the
bookmarked
fucking
another one.
level.
I was gonna read another one.
Yeah, dude.
see.
That was fun. I also like the more.
He's
yeah,
smart.
it's cool.
I wasn't sure that he was smart until I read this one.
No,
I was
this
like,
guy's-
I like this guy.
He's a good one. He
It's
can
a
really
good
do it.
comedy, way to think about comedy.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. This one's called On Lying in Bed.
On Lying in Bed by G.K. Chesterton.
Yeah, chapter 10. Lying in bed would be an altogether perfect and supreme experience if only one had a colored pencil long enough to draw on the ceiling. He would love it. He would love the iPad. Whoa, GK, we got an iPad for you.
Give G.K. an iPad.
Yeah. He's like, whoa,
Shit, it
shit.
would be fucking over.
He's like, I got a really great web comic I'm working on. This, however, is not generally a part of the domestic apparatus on the premises. I think myself that the thing might be managed with several pails of Aspinall and a broom. Only if one worked in a really sweeping and masterly way and laid on the color with great washes, it might drip down again on one's face in floods of rich and mingled color like some strange fairy rain. And that would have its disadvantages. I'm afraid it would be necessary to stick black and white in this form of artistic composition. Stick to black and white. To that purpose, indeed, the white ceiling would be of the greatest possible use. In fact, it is the only use, I think, of a white ceiling being put to.
Damn, get him.
But for the beautiful experiment of lying in bed, I might never have discovered it. For years, I have been looking for some blank spaces in a modern house to draw on. Paper is much too small for any really allegorical design. As Cyrano de Bergerac says, Il me faut des gens. Dude, put it in English. I don't speak French,
Fuck
bro.
you.
What does that mean? Okay. But when, I bet it's giants. Jean.
Maybe it's
Il me
people. I
faut-
think it's like people, like gente in
Jean.
Spanish means people.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey,
Jean. But it's like Jean.
Giants. Oh, that might be giants.
Giants.
Giants. It's got the. You didn't. I
Yeah.
didn't see the accent mark.
Yeah, I didn't do it.
That
good.
changes
Giants.
everything.
But when I tried to find these fine, clear spaces in modern rooms such as we all live in, I was continually disappointed. I found an endless pattern and complication of small objects hung like a curtain of fine links between me and my desire. Dude, he's like inventing like Danish mid-century modern design right now, right?
I think so.
The thing he's explaining about he wants blank spaces in the modern home.
Yeah, he wants nomadic furniture.
Yeah, he just wants. What if the wall was blank? I found it. Okay, yeah. I examined the walls. I found them, to my surprise, to be already covered with wallpaper, and I found the wallpaper to be already covered with very uninteresting images, all bearing a ridiculous resemblance to each other. I could not understand why one arbitrary symbol, a symbol apparently entirely devoid of any religious or philosophical significance, should thus be sprinkled all over my nice walls like a sort of smallpox. The Bible must be referring to wallpapers, I think, when it says, "Use not vain repetitions as the Gentiles do." I found the Turkey carpet a mass of unmeaning colors, rather like the Turkish Empire, or like the sweet meat called Turkish delight.
Whoa.
I do
Turkish
not
Delight's meat?
sweet meat. I think a sweet meat is sweet meat can just mean a snack.
Just a candy.
I think.
Okay.
But I think it also means like your brain or
Sounds like
something.
jelly.
Or I thought it was like your balls. What am I thinking? Sweet bread.
Sweet bread is intestines.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is sweet meat. I think it's just sweets.
Just
you know,
sorry.
some
sweet
sweets.
treat.
No, I thought the same thing because I was like, wait,
Turkish Delight.
yeah. But that's
Fuck
what's funny is that he knows C.S. Lewis. Or
Fuck
C.S. Lewis likes this guy.
Fuck that shit. I'm never gonna eat it.
Yeah. My parents got some in Turkey. They went to Turkey. And they got it.
Yeah, right. I'll see it when I believe it.
Yeah. But I suppose it is Macedonian massacres. I do not know especially what Turkish Delight really is, but I suppose it is Macedonian massacres.
That's funny.
That's savage as hell.
They got him. That's fucking.
That's fucked up.
It's a good roast comedy. Right
GK, you're a madman.
there. Yeah, dude.
GK, that's
way
pretty
to roast
fucked
him.
up.
Way to roast him.
Pretty much
Fuck
Anthony
you.
Jeselnik.
Take that,
Sort of an
Turks.
Anthony Jeselnik style.
Oh yeah. He's going Jesselnik on
I
the
don't
Turks.
know what the Turkish Delight is.
Yeah.
But I bet it's Macedonian massacres.
Going full Jeselnik on the Turks.
Everywhere that I went forlornly with my pencil or my paintbrush, I found that others had unaccountably been before me, spoiling the walls, the curtains, and the furniture with their childish, barbaric designs. Nowhere did I find a really clear place for sketching until this occasion when I prolonged beyond the proper limit the process of lying on my back in bed. Then the light of that white heaven broke upon my vision, that breadth of mere white, which is indeed almost the definition of paradise, since it means purity and also means freedom. But alas, like all heavens, now that it is seen, it is found to be unattainable. It looks more austere and more distant than the blue sky outside the window. For my proposal to paint on it with the bristly end of a broom has been discouraged, never mind by whom, by a person debarred from all political rights, and even my minor proposal to put the other end of the broom into the kitchen fire and turn it into a charcoal has not been conceded. Yeah, is he married? Is he talking about his wife maybe or something?
I think so.
Or maybe he's just single and he's just talking about himself.
I think he's just talking about chicks. Maybe he's just talking about like.
He could just be talking about himself, though. I don't know. Because he could be, I think he's...
safe bet.
Yeah. He's usually talking
Safe.
about himself
Yeah.
when he's talking about who he was talking to.
Always.
Yet Yet I am uncertain that it was from persons in my position that all the original inspiration came for covering the ceilings of palaces and cathedrals with a riot of fallen angels or victorious gods. I'm unsure that it was only because Michelangelo, 2 words, was engaged in the ancient and honorable occupation of lying in bed that he ever realized how the roof of the Sistine Chapel might be made into an awful imitation of a divine drama that could only be acted in the heavens. The tone now commonly taken toward the practice of lying in bed is hypocritical and unhealthy. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
We should all be more allowed to lie in bed.
Yeah.
It's hypocritical and unhealthy to.
Everybody lies in
Otherwise.
bed, but you're gonna talk shit on people who lie in bed.
Yeah.
What the
Of
fuck?
all the marks of modernity that seem to mean a kind of decadence, there is none more menacing and dangerous than the exaltation of very small and secondary matters of conduct at the expense of great and primary human morality.
That's so.
That's
true.
nuts.
It's so broad.
I don't know
It's so
what he-
broad and true. Yeah.
I don't know what he means by that, but I'm glad he's
don't think
using
he-
that to defend.
I don't think
laying
he
in
knows
bed.
what he means. That's like.
I'll read it again.
Yeah.
Of all the of all the marks of modernity that seem to mean a kind of decadence, there is none more menacing and dangerous than the exaltation of very small and secondary matters of conduct at the expense of very great and primary ones.
So just.
At the expense of the
wasting
eternal
time?
public and tragic human morality. That was different when I read it the first time. I guess I skipped.
So it's
something.
it's one of the most
the
wasteful
expense of
things to
eternal
do is to
public-
waste time.
And tragic human morality. No, I think he wants you to lay in bed. I don't know. If there's one thing worse than the modern weakening of major morals, it is the modern strengthening of minor morals. So there's
Yeah.
major
Yeah.
morals and minor morals. Thus, it is considered more withering to accuse a man of bad taste than of bad ethics.
That is true today, at least.
Yeah. Cleanliness is not next to godliness nowadays, for cleanliness is made an essential and godliness is regarded as an offense.
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
Come back to the Jesus. America.
A playwright can
Let us-
attack the institution of marriage so long as he does not misrepresent the manners of society. And I have met Ibsenite pessimists who thought it wrong to take beer, but right to take prussic acid.
Oh my God.
I don't know what that is.
You're gonna take prussic acid, but not beer.
Should we look it up?
Taking beer? Should we take some beer?
We'll take some beer.
We have some. I have some beer we can take in the fridge.
Prussic acid poisoning.
Prussic acid?
It's a chemical.
Is it like something that people would trip on?
I think it's cyanide. Okay, it's called hydrogen cyanide.
Okay, so people cyanide?
Let me look.
Cyanide's a drug?
I think you might.
If you do a little bit of it?
I'm on the Wikipedia. History of discovery, production, applications. It's the precursor of sodium cyanide and potassium cyanide, which are mainly used in gold and silver mining and electroplating.
Okay.
Occurrence, poisonous. Yeah, I think he's just saying like poison.
Oh God.
I think it's like, cyanide poison.
You'd sooner take poison than drink
Right.
beer. Yeah.
But right to take poison. Oh, because they're killing themselves. So the Ibsenite thing is about killing yourself. In all the Ibsen plays, they kill themselves and shit.
An Ibsenite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ibsen is a Swedish playwright
went
that
way
writes
over
really
my
fucked
head.
up plays. Yeah.
So did he hang? Sorry, just going back to the Da Vinci or the
Michelangelo.
Michelangelo thing. Was
There's
that just an
cathedrals
elaborate-
around us if
was
you
that
just look.
An elaborate own? Was that just an elaborate
On who?
like dunk on Michelangelo? Where he's like he probably lays in bed a lot, and that's how
No,
he learns.
he's saying he loves laying in bed. That was what he
He
deconstructed
was
in the
saying
next
big
paragraph.
ups. He was giving him big ups for laying.
I
in bed.
guess, yeah. Or he's saying I lay in bed and I'm smart like Michelangelo. Is kind of
Okay.
the undercurrent of the thing. I think.
all
I think that's sort of the idea.
All right, comprehended, retained.
Especially this is so in matters of hygiene, notably such matters as lying in bed. Instead of being regarded as it ought to be as a matter of personal convenience and adjustment, it has come to be regarded by many as if it were part of essential morals to get up early in the morning. It is upon the whole part of practical wisdom, but there is nothing good about it or bad about it. It's opposite. There's nothing bad about its opposite.
That's. I agree.
Misers get up early in the morning, and burglars. I am informed.
That's
Get
so
up
funny.
the night before. And burglars, I am informed, get up the night before. Oh, I cut off the sentence. It is the great peril of our society that all its mechanism may grow more fixed while its spirit grows more fickle.
Misers wake up early. Just
Yeah.
people are because at work there's a lot of
Misers.
not really misers, but people being like, I was up at 6 today, like all that shit.
Oh, yeah, people love being like, they got up early.
Talking about
Mentioning you got up early.
it's remarkable that they woke up early, and
Right.
they're always like,
Or that it's
I
a
was up
special
at 4.
context. It's a special context that'll really add to you understanding me right now in
When
this
it-
situation.
All it affects is how much it was like.
Oh, that's
doesn't
why
affect
you acted
anything.
terrible right now? That's why you said a slur in front of everybody?
I left the house at 5, but I woke up at 4, like that shit.
Yeah.
Those are next time I hear that, I'm gonna walk up to him and be like, misers wake up early.
Whoa.
Burglars wake up early.
They woke up the night before.
Burglars wake up the night before.
If people love...
So they can
It's
burgle?
like in an office when you hear someone, one person mentions how little sleep they got, and then it's impossible for another person not to go, I actually got less.
Yeah, it's
Last night I actually got less, and I have gotten less, like...
it's a one-upping
Yeah,
contest.
it's a constant. Yeah, I've been on the moon. I walked on the moon situation.
I ran on the moon.
I walked on the moon.
I walked on the moon. Yeah. Shout out Brian
We
Regan.
love Brian Regan.
Please do the show.
A man's minor actions and arrangements ought to be free, flexible, creative. The things that should be unchangeable are his principles, his ideals. But with us, the reverse is true. Our views change constantly, but our lunch does not change. Now I should
Our
like
lunch does
men
not change.
to have strong and rooted conceptions. But as for their lunch, let them have it sometimes in the garden, sometimes in bed, sometimes on the roof, sometimes in the top of a tree. Let them argue from the same first principles, but let them do it in a bed or a boat or a balloon. This alarming growth of good habits really means a too great emphasis on those virtues which mere custom can misuse. It means too little emphasis on those virtues which custom can never quite ensure, sudden and splendid virtues of inspired pity or of inspired candor. If ever that abrupt appeal is made to us, we may fail. A man can get used to getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. A man cannot very well get used to being burnt for his opinions. The first experiment is commonly fatal.
Whoa.
Let
Waking
us
up at
pay
5?
a little more attention to these possibilities of the heroic and unexpected. I dare say that when I get out of this bed, I shall do some deed of an almost terrible virtue.
Oh damn. You don't want me to get out of this bed.
Bro,
I'm gonna
you're
fuck
lucky
your
I'm in the
shit
bed.
up. If I get out of this bed, it's over.
For those who study the great art of lying in bed, there is one emphatic caution to be added. Even for those who can do their work in bed, like journalists, still more of those whose work cannot be
Sucking
done in
journalists.
bed, as for example the professional harpooner of whales, it is obvious that the indulgence must be very occasional. But that is not the caution I mean. The caution is this. If you do lie in bed, be sure you do it without any reason or justification at all.
Okay. Copy.
I do not speak, of course, of the seriously sick, but if a healthy man lies in bed, let him do it without a rag of excuse. Then he will get up a healthy man.
I'm not doing this.
If
I
he
don't
does
even
it for
care.
some secondary hygienic reason, if he does it for some scientific explanation, he may get up a hypochondriac.
Whoa.
That's the end of the essay.
That's pretty cool.
That was good.
If a guy lies down in bed too
I
much.
was worried at the beginning. I was like, this is kind of confusing.
So lying in bed is for smart people? Is that...
only if you do it right.
Yeah, and that's I had no idea.
Only
there's
if
a
you
wrong
do it
way.
right.
There's a
Well,
wrong
you
way
have to
lie
not
in
have
bed.
any intention. You don't have to be like, well, actually, I did have a long day, so I'm
Yeah.
actually gonna lay in bed for a little bit because it's
Alright.
kind of a mental health thing.
You can't weaponize bed.
Yeah.
Weaponizing bedtime.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
I think
be
it's,
wrong.
it's also good that you have to get out of bed to do something bad, to do harm, and then
That's true.
When you're in bed, you're not doing anything.
Yeah,
But you
typically.
could no. But you
Typically.
could be avoiding.
Sure.
You could have a screaming child in the next room, and you could
it's
be
not that
ignoring
big of it. That's
Right.
his problem, though.
Let him cry it out.
Yeah.
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 You shouldn't have had a kid.
Shouldn't have had one.
Yeah, you have to get up and beat the kid to be a bad father.
That's something that can happen in a bed, is having a kid. Though.
I'm not beating it.
Yeah.
I'm laying in bed all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not beating the kid.
Yeah, it's great.
I'll have you notice I'm not beating him.
Your Honor, you'll notice now that I'm not beating him.
As he is on the other end of the courtroom. That was good.
Yeah, I didn't think those would be that good.
I like that guy.
Those were good. He's funny, right?
Yeah, being
has
a
a cool
lazy,
vibe.
being a lazy smart guy. It's the
Yeah.
lazy smart guy
He's a
book.
genius. Yeah.
All right.
What time is it?
I have to piss.
All right.
Can we
I'm
do
gonna
it?
go pee.
Let's do a next one. Let's do another one. It's hour 20.
Okay.
But